Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, it's looking like an awful time for members of the drill culture. As I told y'all, this day would come the moment they said that the feds started taking over cases in Chicago. Now, I'm no psychic or nothing like that, but I like to think of myself as someone that puts the pieces of the puzzle together well and operate more so off of common sense. It's been known that the feds have taken interest into a lot of old cases that went cold that have transpired in Chicago, making it to where even if you thought you got away with taking a life, chances are either you did or they just didn't want you bad enough. But in this case, the feds got tired of bodies dropping and going unsolved in Chicago, so they did their own investigations on a lot of these cases, and let's just say a lot of guys better count their days. It's one thing for the feds to have evidence on you when they're doing their own homework, but it's even worse when they have an eyewitness who is willing to cooperate and point guys out. Now in this case, we're hearing that one of the eyewitnesses is even an op to the guys he's pointing out. Now if you didn't know by now, the streets been done. Guys are either in the jail cell or worse, they're in the grave. And the other part is filled with guys who really aren't like that and they're just pretending, and the other half is full of undercover snitches. Now I told y'all before that the craziest thing they did was started giving snitches salaries, whereas they have some who get paid up to almost $80,000 a year. Now I don't know how much telling you gotta do to make almost $100,000 a year, but this is what the streets is up against, followed by all types of advanced technology and surveillance systems, making it borderline impossible to get away with anything. So with all that being said, this brings us to our most recent topic at hand, whereas a crackdown on guys who had something to do with the unaliving of Black Mob member Shoota Shellz is underway. Now one of the main reasons why this was intriguing to me is because we actually covered the life and unaliving of Shoota Shellz, and how he lost his life always been interesting to say the least. Aside from his crime scene being one of the most gory, the part that I always found interesting was how everything took place. Now it hasn't been confirmed whether he was backdoored or not, but when you hear how everything transpired, then it makes sense. According to police reports, Shoota Shellz was in a good part of Chicago, 8142 South Paulina Street to be exact. He spent the night at a girl's house, and as he was leaving around 7:30 to 9:30 in the morning, when he would get inside of his car, he was bombarded with bullets. Shoota Shellz was shot multiple times, mainly in his face and neck area, and it would seem like the shooting was a targeted hit, and whoever the suspects were took it very personal. Now even in the video we did covering the situation, I told y'all that something never made sense, and if I had to bet my last dollar, I would say that he was in fact set up. How in the world would anyone know you're in that location, and even if they did, how would they know to strike at the exact time that he decided to leave her house? But if you want to hear more on how we feel about it, I'll leave a link pinned in the comments so you can check the video out there. Now aside from that, it's a known fact that Shoota Shellz was into it with No Limit, aka NLMB, and it's said that he was giving them hell. He came out with a song called Death for the 150, being very disrespectful, dissing both alive and deceased NLMB members. So with that being said, when he lost his life, it was almost automatic for people to immediately point the finger at No Limit, whether they had proof of it or not. However, fast forward to 2023, after FOIA documents were obtained by the public, they will reveal that after the FBI would take over the case, they would actually pin a couple of NLMB members to the unaliving of Shoota Shellz, and this is solely due to cell phone towers pinging their cell phones to the exact location and time that the shooting took place. You have to remember that back at this time, it wasn't like how it was now. These days, due to other criminals getting caught for crimes, they didn't know that cell phones were used as a way to pin people to locations when it came to a crime. These days, it's a known thing that if you go on any type of drill or to do anything illegal and take your phone with you, you're basically asking to go to jail. But anyway, the FOIA documents would state, quote, "At the time of this the Federal Bureau of Investigation was conducting an investigation into the No Limit Street Gang. The No Limit Street Gang is a faction of the Black P. Stone Nation. At an Area 2 shooting meeting, FBI agents related that cell phone tower data placed blank and Chris Jackson, aka Little Chris, in the area of this located at 8142 South Polina Street before and after the on 10 July 2017 between the hours of 0730 and 0932. The RD was informed that this cell tower data was obtained through a federal grand jury subpoena. Blank and Jackson are members of the No Limit Street Gang located primarily in the 4th Police District. It should be noted that the victim was a member of the Terrortown BPSN. It should be further noted that the victim was a rapper whose street name was Shoota Shellz. The victim produced a rap video titled Death of 150. The rap song Death of 150 was a hate-filled song containing threats directed at the No Limit Street Gang and its members both dead and alive. Then in another FOIA document explaining in 2020, information was shared amongst detectives where it is say, quote, "On 12 February 2020, the RD detectives Spremo and Robinson met with Special Agent Sonny Nugent and Crystal Foster at Area 2 located at 727 East 111th Street. The RDs and agents shared past interview notes. The RD requested from Agent Nugent the telephone records that placed blank, aka blank, and Chris Jackson, deceased, blank, aka Mad Max, Little Chris, in the area of 8142 South Polina Street at the time of the Agent Nugent related the RDs would need to be added to the federal grand jury list in order to receive materials related to this cell site data. Now, with all that being said, majority of the people felt that it was just Mad Max who was involved in the unaliving, but come to find out, it was more NLMB members involved than just Mad Max. And if that wasn't enough, now it also is coming out that the man that was with Shoota Shellz the morning he was shot and unalive is also now cooperating with the feds to pin certain people to the shooting as well. Now, this was just a rumor before about a year ago, but I guess now it's actually happening. And like I always tell y'all, one thing about the feds, if you even think they coming for you for any reason, you might as well just prepare yourself. It might not be today, it might be months or sometimes even years from now. The feds play the long game and fully investigate until they get everything that they want, and then they strike. So any names that were included should take heed. But on another note, it just came out recently that it is confirmed that a man by the name of Jolik Heron, aka Ace Boogie of Black Mob, who's affiliated with Shoota Shellz and was there when he was unalive, will be testifying against NLMB members who unalived Shoota Shellz on July 10th, 2017. Shout out to Chirac News. They will make a post followed by the statement made by Ace Boogie, alleging that he saw what he saw and who he saw. Now in the caption, it'll say, quote, "Ace Boogie, Black Mob, snitching on Mad Max, Little Chris, No Limit Mainsky, and No Limit Marley from No Limit, and identifying himself as a witness when Shoota Shellz Black Mob was unalive." Jolik Heron, also known as Ace Boogie, was a known Black Mob member. He was really close to Shoota Shellz from the same set. He was in the infamous Zach TV interview with the Black Cat. He was one of the witnesses there when Shellz was unalive, July 10th, 2017. This is his testimony. Now in his statement, it'll say, quote, "On the date that the victim, Cedron Doles, was unalive, Blank stated he walked with Doles to his car. Blank stated he noticed a white Nissan parked on the east side of the street, parked a few car lengths to the north. Blank stated Doles' vehicle was parked on the west side of the street. Blank stated 3 male black subjects exited the white Nissan, all wearing black hoodies. Blank stated 2 of the 3 male black subjects wore dreadlocks and were medium to dark complexion. Blank stated the 3 offenders were approximately blank height. Blank stated he was on the passenger side of Doles' vehicle while Doles was standing in the street. Blank stated the 3 male black subjects, offenders, started shooting at Doles. Blank stated he did not see the driver of the white Nissan shooting, just the 3 offenders. Blank stated he then ran southbound and then westbound and out of view of the offenders. Later that day, 10 July 2017, Blank was arrested for armed habitual criminal. The RDs and agents did not question Blank about his arrest. In the attempt to identify the offenders, the RD showed Blank 5 separate photo arrays. Each photo array contained 6 color photographs. The RD read the photo live lineup advisory form whereby Blank agreed to view the photo arrays and wished to not be video or audio tape. Because of manpower issues, there was not an independent administrator used for these photo arrays. Blank signed the advisory form and viewed all 5 photo arrays, which were subsequently identified 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Blank did not make an identification in photo arrays number 1 and number 5. Blank did recognize Blank as an ops shooter in photo array number 2. Blank did recognize Blank in photo array number 4, indicating that Blank and Blank attended grade school together. Blank also stated that he did not think that Blank would do something like that. Finally, in photo array number 3, Blank selected the suspect in position number 2 and positively identified Chris Jackson, CB Blank, stating Chris, he was out there shooting. I know Chris from the neighborhood as Little Chris Mad Max. The advisory form and photo arrays were subsequently inventoried under Blank. This interview was concluded. Now here's the kicker. Some people are going to say that he's a snitch and he shouldn't be telling no matter what happened. But then you're going to have those that say, well, Mad Max was involved in the shooting and he himself cooperated while in the hospital bed about another shooting. So I guess eye for an eye or tooth for a tooth. Because if you're going to call Boogie a snitch, then you're going to have to keep that energy for all parties that cooperate. However, this is why y'all leave the streets alone. It's not worth it. And with all that stenching going on, it makes no sense. The most dangerous person in this world is someone that wouldn't hesitate to shoot you, but will also tell on you all in the same breath. So it's best if you just leave that person alone. Now, aside from that, the shooting took place in 2017. We're almost in 2026, making it almost 9 years later, and here it is, the feds still looking to arrest whoever had involvement. So if you think you got away with something, just know once the feds get involved, it's pretty much over. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. And I'm out.